got other news, though. This could be seen as maybe positive. I don't know. Daredevil comes back to Marvel Studios.
Yeah, I told you I was going to have something to say about this. So if you go back to the original, story about how there was that whole schism between Netflix and Disney, and Netflix had Daredevil, Iron, what is it?
Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage.
And Luke Cage, right. Mm-hmm. They had their series on Netflix, and then Disney's like, okay, we want to consolidate, and we're starting our own streaming service, so we're severing ties. Okay, Netflix says fine, but we have a contract, so they get to hold on to the rights for Daredevil and all those other, Defenders characters, for a certain period of time. And that was kind of a problem from the point of view of those that were really into the MCU and the Disney Marvel, thing, because it's like, well, this would be a great opportunity to pull these guys in, get them mixed in with, the Avengers characters and whatnot. And, Daredevil, being an attorney for, I don't know, Spider-Man or whatever. I mean, things that they've done in the comics, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem was we were going to have to wait a couple years because Netflix had the right to these characters. And so Disney's like, well, we're just going to have to write it out, right? Well, by then you're going to have moved on. Well, guess what? Things turned out that things did not move on because everything got put on hold. Yep. Everything got put on hold except the agreement that Netflix had. Their hold on these characters, Daredevil being the first one, has lapsed. It all reverts back to Disney, and now Disney is free and clear to start weaving them into their new phase of the Marvel Universe if they so choose. They could even use the same actors if they want to.
I had a question too. They also have the rights to the actual Netflix series. Does that now go to Disney?
That I don't know. I suspect not. I think what happens is that falls into obscurity. I think I'm predicting based on nothing. This is just me, Troy, guessing. Okay. But I think it's going to be the same sort of situation that happened between Warner Brothers and Fox over Batman 66, where, hey, we own the rights to the character. Yeah, but we made the show. Okay. Well, then nobody gets to see the show. It's done.
Wow. Okay.
And I think that's what's going to happen. So anything that aired on Netflix, get those DVDs now while you can. I don't know whether or not they will be considered to be part of continuity going forward, or if they will treat it kind of like they did with that Eric Bana Hulk movie. It's kind of sort of canon, but kind of not.
Yeah,
and we never really talk about it again.
I always got that impression with the Edward Norton Hulk movie because the Abana one ends with him in South America. The Norton one begins with him in South America. So you could sort of make the leap that these are connected in some way.
And there's definitely story elements from the Norton Hulk that clearly were canonized and part of the continuing canon.
Yeah. Wolf10 says, no, hold on. Oh, my mistake. That was Jedi Master. No, to my understanding, they stay with Netflix. And I'm worried over this acquisition of Netflix Marvel. Well, it was going to happen regardless. That was in the long time running.
Yeah. So the actual things that were filmed by Netflix remain Netflix, but the character reverts back to Marvel.
Interesting.
So, and like I said, they can cast whomever they want. They could even cast the same actors. And if they do that in a way, they're kind of sending the message to the fans. All that stuff you saw on Netflix, that was all canon. We're just continuing on.
Okay.
The thing is that Disney cannot probably sell DVDs of those series for you to go back to, or host them on their streaming service for that matter.
Okay. Yeah, back to the drawing board made a point. He says, details of the contract are confidential. The studio that produces the show keeps the rights to the show they produce in almost every case, so I imagine Netflix still has them. Okay.
And yet, the fans have a lot to say about it.
Yes.
They've relaunched their hashtag Save Daredevil campaign. So I find that pretty interesting. There's clearly still a market for the character, and they'd like to see it continue. Now, they could. I do not see any reason that they could not continue the series on Disney Plus if they wanted to. They could literally do a new season themselves on Disney Plus and just continue forward.
I'm also going to say this. I know they had plans for this Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness movie coming out. Could they maybe treat these Netflix series as an alternative universe and still keep the same actor, but then play around with them and pretend that wasn't part of the continuity of the Netflix series? I don't know.
So, yeah, they could. And that is certainly an option open to them. I think that's unnecessarily muddying the waters, though.
Well, I know. I'm thinking they may not want to even acknowledge the Netflix series going forward. They may want to pretend those didn't happen. I don't know if there's bitter feelings over that or not.
I don't know. I can see it going either way. I could see them saying, no, there's enough of a fan base for this that we should continue to capitalize on this as much as possible. But I could also see them saying, we got the character back. We'll do what we want with them. I don't know. I'm not sure where their heads are.
I've often argued, though, that I think that, you should, if you can, you have a good actor playing the part, you should use him again, even if it's in a different continuity.
Absolutely.
Like, I'd love to see Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus again,
Right.
He'd
Absolutely.
still be up for it, yeah.
And it's clear that they thought the same thing about the one that played J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, yes. Oh, man.
The guy that does the voice of the yellow M&M.
I'll find out. Big Al, though, he liked Daredevil was a great Netflix
he's
series.
Absolutely right.
And a lot of people think the same.
I actually think that Iron Fist was a good series, even though it was definitely the weakest of all the shows that they did.
I watched the first season. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it had a decent villain, actually. Well, the one guy. But yeah, let me see. Actor, I'll find out. I like the fact they brought him back. J. Jonah Jameson actor. J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah, I knew it was. I keep J. Jonah Jameson. J something.